Halo, selamat sore sahabat Sporty. Kita sekarang melakukan interview spesial nih bersama Jaime Yarza Gonzalez, Direktur FIFA Turnamen langsung dari Zurich, Swiss, khusus untuk para sahabat Kompas.com mengenai Piala Dunia U17. Yuk, seperti apa pembicaraannya? Mari kita simak berikut ini. Hi, nice to meet you, Jaime. How are you and where are you now currently?
Nice meeting you, and great to see the interest and the passion of the Indonesian people for the tournament. I'm now in Zurich, a little bit in between trips, which is pretty normal for my case.
Yeah. So you've been to Jakarta beforehand, right?
Yes, I've been to Jakarta various times, even on holidays in '89, so a long time ago.
Oh, okay, cool, nice. So yeah, we're gonna start to talk about the Under-17 World Cup right now. Yes. Well, yeah, will be the first time the Under-17 World Cup will be played in Southeast Asia. How do you see the impact of this tournament will have on the region?
Well, as you know, this is tournament number 19. That means it's one of our longest standing tournaments. It has a longer history, but at the same time, it's the first time that Indonesia qualifies for this tournament. And I could see it myself when I was in Jakarta about the passion that the people in Indonesia has for football. And therefore, obviously, it shows the huge potential that the country has to make an impact, not only in Indonesia, but in the world in the future. So I think this is an amazing opportunity for Southeast Asia and very specifically for Indonesia to really show the world the passion of the Indonesian people, as well as give a sign about the impact and the potential that this football has all over the world. So I think it's going to be a fantastic tournament. We've got 4 fantastic cities, and I'm convinced that they will be really highly visited with a lot of people. And this obviously will show all the region that they have the chance to organize a FIFA World Cup and the impact that it will cause in the short, medium, and long run in football.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think makes Indonesia stand out as the host compared to previous host countries? I mean, with comparable demographics such as Brazil and India.
Well, as I said before, I think Indonesia has such a passion for football that this tournament can really stand out in the development of football in Indonesia, in the region. And there's a little bit of difference with countries like Brazil, for example, where football is already part of breathing every day in the country. So Indonesia really has a chance now to make an impact in the development of football in the region. And it's extremely important, the excellent cooperation that the government has shown with the Football Federation, which will leave an extremely strong legacy for the country and infrastructure. And difference, like I said, like Brazil, where they are already on the top teams in the world, top 5, top 10 teams in the world in the youth categories. Indonesia has now a chance to make the first step in this development and become a usual contender in our tournaments.
Okay, so how difficult it is for a tournament debutants like Indonesia to perform highly in their first Under-17 World Cup? What are the challenges based on the previous teams that you saw in this tournament?
Well, for me, one of the main challenges that Indonesia is how to cope with the pressure. They are playing at home, they are playing in front of their people, and they know they have very strong teams playing against them. Luckily, obviously, with the draw, having them placed in the first group with the strongest ranked teams allowed them to avoid some of the powerhouses that will be there. But let's not forget that these are the 24 best teams in the world, or 23 plus Indonesia. So it's going to be extremely difficult. I think if they can cope with the pressure of playing at home in the first match and get a good result in the first match, they have a good chance to move on in the tournament.
Okay. Yeah, as we all know, Indonesia was poised to host the Under-20 World Cup, but now we're going to host the Under-17 World Cup. From a tournament organizational standpoint, how different is the two tournaments, Jaime?
Well, from an organization perspective, there are not many differences. It's really 24 teams, and we need the same number of stadiums, training sites, and in general, the infrastructure is very similar. As you know, the Under-20 has some of the top paid players in the world, therefore the demands are a little bit higher. But from an organizational perspective, it's really a very, very similar tournament.
Okay. And as we all know from the previous tournament, this Under-17 World Cup manages to attract a lot of people to the stadiums, like 100,000 came to the stadiums in Mexico and up to 60,000 to watch England plays in India. What does this say about youth football tournaments?
Well, it shows the importance of football in the world, that people not only want to see the big stars, they also want to see the future stars. And this obviously attracts a lot of people to the stadiums. And this is extremely important because also what we intend to do with these tournaments, there are various things, various targets that we have, but one very important target that we have with these tournaments is to attract families to the stadiums, really convert not only the usual fan, but be having parents with the kids being able to visit the stadiums, enjoy the atmosphere of a World Cup, which is a very special atmosphere. It's a unique case. In most of the countries, they will be mainly one occasion where they will have a World Cup at their home. So we want really the people to experience what it is, a World Cup, and really be immersed in this feeling of world tournament, world-class tournament with the best that football has to offer for the next years.
Okay, and so you have seen a lot of talents going through this age group. We know all the big names out there, Osimhen, Phil Foden and everything. What is the most important aspects generally for a player to have to excel in this tournament?
Well, we have now obviously the top teenagers in participating in this tournament. They're chasing really a big dream. So it's really a breeding ground for future stars. But it's extremely important because we want to give them a path to develop into the future of the game, prepare themselves in their journey as football professionals. And it's also a very difficult time for teenagers. I have sons, so it's a difficult time. So it's really important that we give them this path, a chance to enjoy and really momentous occasion, which is playing a World Cup. And that's why this tournament is so important.
Okay, and firstly you said that this will be the 19th tournament of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. How do you see the Under-17 World Cup evolve like over the years, especially with the tournament now going to an annual format after this 2023 edition?
Well, as our president said, this is really a gate to the future talent, giving them the best opportunities. And I think the FIFA realized that we were missing a generation every year of talented players that did not have the chance to play in this tournament by having it every 2 years in a moment which is so extremely important in their development. And also, as I said before, a difficult time in their lives when they are becoming teenagers and have a lot of other things in their mind and a lot of other gates and doors that are opening. So really moving onwards to increasing the number of teams is not only the fact that it's being played every year, it's also increasing the number of teams to 84 will really help us to grab all these talents and give them this unique opportunity, which is playing in Under-17 World Cup. And for us, from a development perspective, I think it's going to be a key move in the future of football, allowing, as I said, all these young people to be able to participate in a World Cup, because anybody that's been involved in these tournaments know that it's really a unique moment in the career, in the path of a footballer.
Okay, thank you. Finally, with less than 100 days going to the tournament, do you have maybe a message for the Indonesian people for this Under-17 World Cup?
Well, I don't have to appeal to the passion of the Indonesian people because I know they love football, so that's the good side. But I will really animate them to support not only Indonesian team, obviously, which I think Indonesia team has a good chance to pass the group phase if they manage to do a first match, but also to take the chance to see all the other teams that will be giving their best in the tournament, support very, very strongly the local team, don't put extreme pressure on them, let them make the game, enjoy football, have fun with the tournament, and take the opportunity of enjoying a unique World Cup experience in your own home.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, Jaime Yarza, Director of FIFA Tournaments, talking to Kompas.com. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure, and I hope to see you all guys very soon. Thank you for everything.
Ya, sahabat Kompas.com, begitulah wawancara singkat kita dengan Jaime Yarza Gonzalez. Dia adalah Direktur FIFA Turnamen yang nanti akan hadir langsung di Piala Dunia U17. Tetap saksikan SPORTY ke depannya dan jangan lupa klik like and subscribe. See you.